1. Dopamine. Imagine there's a little coach living inside your brain, always cheering you on. That's dopamine. It's the go-getter. The voice that says, hey, if you finish this puzzle, you'll feel amazing. Or run a little faster and you'll get that gold star. Dopamine doesn't actually give you the reward itself. It's more like the excitement before the prize. Think about when you see your favorite snack in the kitchen. Before you even eat it, your brain is already lighting up saying, yes, go get it. That's dopamine firing, making you chase goals, rewards, and achievements. It's also the reason humans keep learning, inventing, and exploring. Without dopamine, you'd just lie around all day like a deflated balloon, not really caring if you achieved anything. With it, you become curious, motivated, and full of energy to try. But then again, dopamine loves novelty. That's why video games, social media likes, and even shopping can feel addictive. They give you tiny hits of dopamine, keeping you chasing that just one more feeling. 2. Serotonin. The calm teacher who gently pats your head and says, you're safe, you're fine, breathe. Serotonin's job is balance. It doesn't make you hyper or overly excited. Instead, it keeps your mood steady, like a boat that doesn't tip over in choppy water. Imagine you're on a swing set. Too high and you'll fly off. Too low and you'll stop moving. Serotonin is the gentle push that keeps the swing smooth. When you feel content after a good meal, relaxed in the sunshine, or proud after finishing homework, that's serotonin quietly at work. It helps you feel stable, calm, and satisfied. Low serotonin, on the other hand, can feel like walking on a shaky bridge. That's why people with too little serotonin might struggle with anxiety, sadness, or sleep problems. Here's a fun twist. Most serotonin isn't even in your brain. Around 90% of it is chilling in your gut, helping digestion. So when people say trust your gut, they're not entirely joking. Your gut literally talks to your brain with serotonin signals. 3. GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. Imagine your brain is like a speeding car on a busy highway. If there's no brake pedal, things will get messy fast. That's where GABA comes in. It's the brake system of your nervous system, slowing things down before they spin out of control. When your brain's electrical signals are firing too much, like sparks flying everywhere, GABA steps in and says, easy there, slow down, relax. It tells your neurons to chill, making sure they don't overheat. You actually feel GABA's work every night. Ever wonder how your brain finally quiets enough for you to fall asleep? That's GABA putting on the brakes, dimming the lights, and whispering, time to rest. It also kicks in when you're nervous. Imagine you're about to give a speech. Your heart races, your thoughts jumble, and your body feels shaky. That's your brain revving too hard. GABA helps calm the storm, pressing the brakes so you don't spin out. Without enough GABA, your brain feels like a car stuck in high gear, restless, anxious, unable to slow down. But when it's balanced, GABA makes sure life doesn't run you off the road. 4. Glutamate. If GABA is the brake pedal of your brain, then glutamate is the gas pedal. It's the most common messenger in your nervous system, and its job is to say, go, go, go. Imagine your brain as a giant city at night with millions of lights flickering on and off. Glutamate is the electricity powering those lights, turning them on so signals can travel from one neuron to the next. Without glutamate, your brain would be like a dark, silent city, nothing moving, nothing happening. When you learn something new, like riding a bike or solving a tricky puzzle, glutamate helps strengthen the connections between brain cells. It's like laying down fresh pavement on the city streets so cars can move faster and smoother. That's how memories are formed and skills get locked in. But too much glutamate? That's like pressing the gas pedal all the way down while racing downhill. The brain gets overexcited, and neurons can actually burn out. That's why your brain carefully balances glutamate with GABA to keep things safe. 5. Acetylcholine. Imagine you're in a classroom, and there's a teacher who points to important things on the board and says, pay attention to this. That's acetylcholine. It's your brain's spotlight, making sure you focus on what matters. Whenever you need to remember a phone number, recall a name, or learn a new skill, acetylcholine is there, underlining the important details. It whispers to your brain cells, hey, this is important, don't forget it. That's why scientists call it essential for memory and learning. It also works like a messenger between your brain and muscles. Every time you blink, take a step, or even smile, acetylcholine is the one carrying the signal from your nerves to your muscles, saying, okay, move now. But here's a twist. If your acetylcholine system isn't working well, memory starts to slip. That's one reason why conditions like Alzheimer's disease are linked to low acetylcholine. The spotlight fades, and details get harder to hold on to. 6. Norepinephrine. Picture this. You're fast asleep, snuggled in bed, when suddenly an alarm clock goes off, loud and sharp. That jolt of alertness you feel? That's norepinephrine in action. Norepinephrine is your brain's wake up and pay attention signal. When something important happens, like a car honking behind you or your phone buzzing with a text, norepinephrine shoots through your system, sharpening your focus. It's the chemical that pulls you from sleepy autopilot into alert mode. Think of it like coffee, but made inside your brain. It wakes you up, gets your heart pumping, and makes sure your attention zooms in on what matters most. That's why it's also tied to your fight or flight response, the built-in survival system that prepares you to run or defend yourself when danger appears. But norepinephrine isn't just about emergencies. It also helps you concentrate in everyday life. When you're studying for an exam, working on a project, or even playing a game, norepinephrine is there, keeping your brain locked on target. Too much though, and it feels like you're buzzing with stress, jittery, restless, unable to sit still. Too little and you feel groggy, foggy, and unmotivated. 7. Histamine. Imagine you have a little rooster inside your brain that crows in the morning. Wake up, time to get moving. That rooster is histamine. Most people only know histamine as the thing that makes your nose itchy when you have allergies. But in your brain, it's one of the main messengers that keep you awake and alert. It's like the internal switch that flips from sleep mode to go mode. When your alarm rings in the morning, histamine rises, giving your brain a splash of energy. It's also why allergy medicines called antihistamines can make you super drowsy. They block histamine, so your brain slips back towards sleep. But histamine doesn't stop there. It also helps regulate your appetite and digestion. Think of it as the server at a restaurant, taking notes, making sure your stomach and brain are in sync about when you're hungry and when you've had enough. Without histamine, mornings would feel like wading through molasses. With too much, though, your body can feel wired, restless, even a little uncomfortable. 8. Endorphins. Imagine falling and scraping your knee. It hurts, right? But then, after a few minutes, the pain doesn't feel quite as sharp. That's endorphins at work. Endorphins are your body's built-in painkillers. They rush in when you're hurt or stressed and act like little firefighters, calming down the pain signals in your brain. They don't just block pain, they also give you a warm, comforting feeling like being wrapped in a soft blanket. This is why people talk about a runner's high. When you exercise hard, your body releases endorphins, and suddenly you feel light, happy, even euphoric, like you could keep going forever. It's your brain's way of rewarding you for movement. Endorphins also appear in moments of laughter, excitement, or even when eating your favorite chocolate. They're tied to joy, resilience, and recovery. Without them, life would feel harsher. Every bump, every stress, every ache would sting more. With them, the edges soften, and you can keep moving forward. 9. Oxytocin. Imagine holding a baby, hugging a friend, or cuddling your pet. That warm, fuzzy feeling that makes your heart melt? That's oxytocin. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone because it shows up during bonding moments. When a mother looks into her newborn's eyes, when two people fall in love, or even when friends laugh together, oxytocin is the glue holding those connections tight. Think of it like an emotional superglue. It tells your brain, this person is safe, you can trust them, you belong here. That's why hugs feel healing and why loneliness hurts so deeply. Oxytocin thrives on connection. But oxytocin isn't just about romance or family. It plays a role in teamwork, cooperation, and even empathy. When you see someone crying and feel the urge to comfort them, that's oxytocin nudging you toward kindness. Too little oxytocin can leave people feeling isolated or disconnected, but when it's flowing, relationships bloom, stress melts, and bonds strengthen. 10. Vasopressin. Picture a basketball team building an offense together on the court to score. What keeps them working side by side instead of wandering off? That invisible teamwork spirit, that's kind of like vasopressin. Vasopressin is often called the social glue because it helps build loyalty, trust, and long-term bonds, especially in close relationships. If oxytocin is the warm hug of love, vasopressin is the quiet promise that says, I'll stick around. I've got your back. Scientists first discovered vasopressin's role in bonding by studying prairie voles, tiny little animals that mate for life. The males with higher vasopressin stayed loyal to their partners, protecting and helping raise their young. Without it, they were more likely to wander off. Vasopressin influences friendships, romance, teamwork, and even a sense of responsibility toward others. It's part of what makes humans cooperative creatures who can build communities. And here's a surprising twist. Vasopressin also regulates water balance in your body. It tells your kidneys when to hold onto water so you don't get dehydrated. So in one role, it's keeping your body hydrated, and in another, it's keeping your relationships hydrated with loyalty. 11. Cortisol. Imagine you're in the jungle and suddenly a tiger jumps out from the bushes. Your body doesn't have time to think. Instantly, cortisol kicks in, flooding your system with energy so you can fight or run. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone, but it's not the villain people think it is. In short bursts, it's your survival superhero. It raises your blood sugar for quick energy, sharpens your focus, and gets your body ready for action. Without it, you'd freeze when danger appeared. The trouble comes when cortisol hangs around too long. Modern life doesn't throw tigers at us, but deadlines, traffic jams, and bills can trick your body into thinking danger never stops. When cortisol stays high for too long, it wears you down, messing with sleep, raising blood pressure, and draining your energy. At its best, cortisol is your built-in emergency fuel tank. At its worst, it's the nagging stress that won't let you rest. 12. Melatonin. Imagine there's a gentle storyteller in your brain who turns down the lights and whispers, "Time to rest now." That's melatonin. Melatonin is the chemical that tells your body when it's bedtime. As the sun sets and darkness arrives, your brain's pineal gland releases melatonin, sending a signal through your body. It's night, let's get sleepy. Think of it as your inner nightlight switch. During the day, light blocks melatonin, keeping you awake. But once evening comes, the switch flips and melatonin rises, making your eyelids heavy and your yawns stretch wide. But modern life often confuses this system. Bright screens, late-night snacks, or irregular schedules can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, delaying melatonin's release. That's why scrolling on your phone in bed makes it harder to sleep. You're basically telling your brain the sun is still up. Melatonin doesn't knock you out like a sleeping pill. Instead, it gently nudges your body into its natural rhythm, called the circadian cycle. Too little melatonin, and your sleep feels restless. Balanced melatonin, and your nights flow like a calm river. 13. Adrenaline. Imagine you're on a roller coaster, climbing higher and higher, and suddenly, whoosh, you drop. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and your body feels electric. That's adrenaline in action. Adrenaline, also called epinephrine, is your body's instant fight-or-flight fuel. When danger or excitement strikes, it's released from your adrenal glands, flooding your body with power. Your heart pumps faster, your lungs pull in more air, and your muscles get a sudden surge of energy. It's like your body flipping a turbo switch. Back in ancient times, adrenaline helped humans escape wild animals or defend their families. Today, the wild animals might just be an exam, a job interview, or a scary movie, but your body reacts the same way. Adrenaline doesn't care if it's real or imagined, it just prepares you to act. Too much adrenaline, though, feels like living on edge, jittery, anxious, and restless. But in the right dose, it's what makes life exciting, the thrill of competition, the rush of adventure, the spark of bravery. 14. Endocannabinoids. Picture lying in a hammock on a sunny afternoon, swaying gently with no worries. That calm, blissful state? That's the work of endocannabinoids. Endocannabinoids are your body's natural chill pills. They help balance mood, reduce pain, and create that feeling of relaxation. Their name comes from cannabis, because the plant mimics this system, but your body actually makes its own versions every day. They're like peacekeepers in your brain, smoothing out rough edges when life gets stressful. For example, if you're nervous before speaking in class, endocannabinoids can help ease the jitters and bring calm. They also play a role in memory, appetite, and even the runner's high. That wave of calm happiness after exercise isn't just endorphins, endocannabinoids are in on it too. Think of them as the oil in the gears of your nervous system. Without them, things grind, clank, and feel rough. With them, life flows smoother, softer, calmer. If you enjoyed this video through your brain's secret messengers, hit like, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more big ideas explained simply. Thanks for watching.